on, let's go, boy.
Hey, what is going on, folks? We are live here at PowerMorphicon, and I am here with
Ray Tyra.
All right, so your company ThreeZero.
That's right.
What is your mission statement when it comes to designing the toys that you got?
Oh my God, that's really
Not
easy.
toys, but more so figures. What is the mission statement?
So our mission is to be able to deliver high quality, affordable action figures into the hands of our collectors.
Okay.
That's it. That's simply it.
Very simple. One of the things that I love, and I have pictures of these, but Power Ranger figures that you have. Like, what was sort of like the top things that you wanted to do in terms of designing these to kind of make it separate from the other figures that Power Rangers has had from other companies?
Right. Well, first of all, Hasbro allowed us to actually inhabit this category, right?
Oh, okay.
They said, you know, I think nobody else is doing this at the price that you want to do it in. So would you be interested in? Yeah, of course. Of course. Like,
yeah.
The Power Rangers fandom is immense. And we always thought that it would be such an easy fandom to cater to, right? Because everybody has favorites. So, of course, we keep the price down because we use buck bodies for the males, for the females, right? If it doesn't have to be so large or so small, then that really cuts down on the cost, which we pass on to our collectors. Then we get the assets from Hasbro, straight from Hasbro. So we have really detailed sculpts of the helmets, the weapons, anything else. Okay. You know, and it's nice because the fabric, you know, you don't need to sculpt that. So that's really fairly easy to do compared to the harder parts of the figure. But even with that, we go for accuracy because at 1/6 scale, sometimes fabrics move differently than at like 1:1. But we look for the best fabrics to be able to have them move with their dynamic articulation at this scale.
Yeah, because one of the things that stood out to me, especially like the turbo, you have red turbo, like the weapons is very detailed.
Right,
So was that like a big thing that you really wanted to nail with all, because even with the Zeo weapons, they're very detailed.
Well, who's our boss? Our boss are the fans, right? So they will want detail, they will want high articulation, and the turbo weapons combined.
Oh, so they actually combine.
Yeah.
That is very new.
But also the Zeo weapons combined, as you can see in this photo right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is dope as hell. Now, I did spy the
Matt Cook Green Ranger,
yes.
the Chaos Energy version.
How did you go about that? Same process, just Hasbro?
Well, my team, they're well versed in what fans love, right?
Okay.
So whenever we're thinking of, because that's an exclusive, right? So whenever we're thinking of variants or exclusives, you know, we kind of mine that brain trust of, well, what'll fans like next? But you kind of have to, you know, balance it out with the cost of creating an exclusive. So, and that threads the fine line between cost and what fans want. Yeah. And, you know, Matt Cook undergoes a lot of stuff in the comics, but the one cool thing is that he does the transformation. And we're like, hey, what if those pinstripes on his costume light up when you put a UV light on it?
That is
right?
Nice as hell.
Yeah. So I was able to partner with Diamond for them to take the exclusives, and they bought 500 pieces.
Oh, okay, wow.
And it's sold out, and we're never gonna make this again.
That's actually pretty great. I always feel that's a good sort of product model to have to kind of keep you in business in a way. If you just do limited, and it's like, well, once it's done, it's done.
Well, overall, our philosophy includes the fact that we don't want to saturate the market with our product. We would rather starve the market and keep the collector's value, the value of the figures that collectors
kind of like shoes in a way, like kind of like the shoe market in a way.
Absolutely.
Depending on what shoe it is and stuff.
Yeah, you know, it'll be less special the more there are in the market. So why not make a limited amount and have people be really happy about their collections?
Yeah, because I spot the Grid Man. I'm a fan of it. Like, was that the same? I mean, how did you, like, was that something that y'all were really excited to really kind of dive into?
So one thing we're doing is that we're looking for properties that can cross different regions. And of course, Gridman is a very Japanese, Asian title. It's very big in Asia, right? But it's also huge in the US as SSSS, right? Like, Okay, so we're
and
like
Superhuman Samurai.
That's it. That's it. Well. So Superhuman Samurai here, because we're licensing from Japan, we're not using the Superhuman Samurai title, but everybody knows. Right? So we're just like pushing it on social, like Gridman, also known as this, right? In the captions, but you'll never see it on the packaging. So fans are like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
from
I
my
saw
childhood,
it. That caught
Gridman.
my eye. I mean, now anniversary of Macross obviously passed.
Yes.
How big
yes.
was that to actually get this too as well?
You know, funny. Actually, these are Robotech figures.
Okay, Robotech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
my bad,
actually
my
don't
bad,
do
my bad, my
Macross.
bad.
Yeah, no
I was
worries.
trying to get that
No,
correlation
no,
there.
it's
so.
it's an easy thing to do, but basically, so we came out with the VF1J Rick Hunter Veritech, right?
Yeah.
But because it was our first Veritech, people were kind of a little cagey. They didn't know,
Yeah.
and then the reviewer samples started going out, and people started really being happy with them online. So all of a sudden, I'm getting calls from my B2B customers like, hey, I think we under-ordered the VF1J. I'm like, I'm sorry, we only made as much as you told us you wanted. That's it. There's no more. So when we came up with the VF1S, people really took advantage of the Roy Fokker plan, Skull One being available. Right? So they're really making up for the quantities they didn't do with the VF1J. Yeah. So very happy, even though we only have 2 right now, very happy with that line.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Supro Ultraman is blowing up huge in America. I see the Tiga.
Right.
I see it from the show. How huge has that been for you guys?
You know, fans really love the fact that Shimizu-san and Shimaguchi-san brought the drama down to street level. Because realistically, how many times can you destroy a city? You know, having a giant brawl in the middle of Tokyo.
I read the manga of Ultraman, so I love it.
I love the manga too. So in any case, we really wanted to go deep on the character lineup for this show. And we're going all the way to C-Type Ultraman, which is his final form in the anime.
Oh, I love it, man. And also Tekkaman Blade. I mean, look, that's kind of like my older cousins in my childhood a little bit too. I love it. Was there a decision to actually be like, no, we have to do both versions?
Well, so
I see Tekkaman.
So what it is the Tekkaman that we have. It's actually a redesign of the classic costume.
Oh, okay.
We have an artist in house. His name is Kelvin. He's an amazing designer. So he does a lot of our redesigns. So he does this with some Roboto figures. He does it for our MDLX line. He redesigns like the G1 animated Transformers. So he's really amazing. And they were like, hey, why don't we do that with this? Because conceivably, like the original costume is a little plain, you know, because he didn't animate it. But we didn't have those constraints. So he went all out on designing the original Tekkaman. But a lot of people also like the new design of the Tekkaman Blade. So even though we didn't redesign that one, we were very true to the animation. So people really love buying these. And both of these are metallic versions.
Oh, wow.
So we have the standard paint versions, but these are really, the metallic has a little bit of like interference, you know, in the reds and the blues.
Now, obviously, lastly, Shin Kamen Rider. I mean, that's huge. That's another one that kind of blew up. Are y'all interested in actually kind of expanding on other Kamen Riders as well?
Well, we would love to. But since right now the only license we have is for Shin Mask Rider, we're only doing, well, you've seen Mask Rider 1 and 2. You've seen Mask Rider 0.
Are you going to do 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing a 0. We're doing a 0. We are doing the PVBA soldiers, you know, the ones that they fought in the tunnel.
Yeah. But I've seen the figure arts for that, so I was always curious if,
Well, this is going to blow that figure away.
Do you think you're going to see the uptick? Because I know they're coming out with a TV show from that movie. So do you see like a sort of uptick?
Yeah, it was like a Shocker TV show, right? And I have a little anecdote about that in a little bit. But we're also coming out with the PVBA motorcycles. So, you know, if you're replete with cash and you want to actually recreate the scene with like 12, you know, PVBA guys with motorcycles, you can do it. We're also coming out with 2+1. So everybody's, I'm actually waiting for that one because Ichimonji is so cool. Like, I really love him. Here's the thing, though. We're really talking about it at the office. We're like, why don't we do the villains? We want to do the villains,
the villains,
right?
People really underestimate how much people would love to buy the villains of these shows.
You know, that's true. So it's just a matter of us convincing the head office in Hong Kong that, you know, people want the villains. So maybe we'll start with 1. You know, I mean, we did start with 1 with Mask Rider 0, but I mean, the other guys, right? The enforcers. We got to do those.
But I mean, kid me is just like, oh my God. Like, I feel a lot of people are just lucky compared to how I was as a kid, where it's like, I would never figure these things would actually be in that realm of happening. And it's like, oh my God. Like,
and your fandom's being celebrated, not just by virtue of there being, you know, product of it, but high quality
Oh yeah,
product
yeah.
with it,
It's,
right?
it's. I mean, look, I'm wearing a Lightspeed rescue jacket. Like, the kid me would be like, "Oh my God, you're wearing this!" And so it feels like that's the theme of Power Morphicon. It's just things that you love. It's just
Think about it this way: they're designed how they look in your head when you were a kid.
exactly.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So
but-
my anecdote about Shin Mask Rider is right now there's a shocker manga being published in Japan.
Yeah, I heard about
Right.
that. Yeah.
Okay. So the artist actually uses our figures
Oh wow,
for a reference.
that is nice.
Yeah, and a friend of his came to our Anime Expo booth, and he's like, I want to thank you for my friend. I'll give you his email, so he can thank you personally. I'm like, hey man, I mean, we just make the stuff. We're glad that you love it. Yeah.
Oh no,
So yeah,
look, I love
very
all
cool.
this. And
Very
stuff, but,
cool.
I appreciate you taking the time talking
Oh,
to me. and
you're
stuff.
very
Oh,
welcome.
Lastly,
Yeah.
Godzilla. I mean, that's a huge.
Oh.
I mean, that's a huge problem. Like, was that like what? Like, did y'all have like sort of a? Were y'all pretty much just constrained to you can only do Godzilla, or could you do other monsters?
No, as you'll see, the line is called Kaijudo. So
Oh, okay.
it's because it's a sister line to our robot line called Robodo.
Okay.
And the thing with Robodo and Kaijudo are they have internal frames with die-cast metal, zinc alloy,
okay.
high-impact plastic, so that the figures kind of sustain their poses through years of use and play, right?
Wow.
I mean, we don't want the arms to sag.
Yeah.
So it was just, I don't know, it was logical that we did a kaiju line, right? With
Yeah.
the same internal skeleton. And I mean, who's first, right? Godzilla's always first. But because it's kaiju-do,
Yeah.
we're going to do a lot of different It's not Godzilla-do, it's kaiju-do. So as long as people buy this and they convince us that they really like this line, who knows what other kaiju we can
Jaguar.
have. I mean, yeah, money talks.
That is,
So,
hey, look, you're right. Money does talk.
talks.
That is.
If people buy this and we're convinced that there's a market for it, why not?
Oh yeah, might as well, man.
Why not?
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I appreciate you talking to me.
You're very
I
welcome.
love this. This is great. And yeah, see you guys later. Peace out.
Okay, thank you.